Hi, my name is Chi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. You are watching Petite Dressing. In today's video, I will share with you tips that will help you to find the best winter coats for women. Number one, you should have the mindset of making an investment. Winter coats are not cheap. The price range could be $200 to $500 or sometimes even more. Having the mindset of an investment is that you will be looking for something for the best value in the long term. You should not just be looking at the price tag. For instance, it costs $500, but it's made of premium quality and it is a very good designer brand. If you're wearing it for more than 5 years or sometimes 8 years or 10 years, then for each year on average, it only costs you less than $100 every year. Look at it for the long term. The opposite of having the mindset of an investment is that you jump on the lowest price. They're trendy, but the next year you will not like them again because they are out of style. So that's something you wanted to avoid. Having the mindset of an investment also means that you choose quality over quantity. If you can only afford $500 for this winter on the coat, then perhaps you want to spend that on 1 or 2 pieces of a good quality winter coats. If you have 5 different winter coats from a fast fashion brand, but none of them will last more than 1 season, then that is not money well spent. Number 2, take a look at your closet first. It's really important your winter coats should go with your style that's already in your closet. I'm not saying that you should not try a different style for the winter coat. If you choose something carefully and be thoughtful about how it will go with what is already in your closet, you are saving yourself more money. So ask yourself these questions. Are you mostly wearing dresses and boots in the winter time or sweaters and jeans and sneakers? For me, I'm mostly wearing dresses, so what I need is a polished long coat. It needs to be warm enough and then it needs to be long enough. On the other hand, if your winter staple is sweaters and jeans and sneakers, then perhaps you are looking for a puffer coat. What you don't want to do is $200 or $300 on a winter coat. Nothing in your closet will go with it. So in that case, you have to spend more money to buy more clothes. And number 3, best places to shop for petite winter coats. For me, I always go to the department stores. It's hard for me to find something in local stores because either they don't have the petite sizes or the petite sizes I need is already gone because they don't carry that many extra small or small, which is my size. So for me, I always go to Nordstrom or Macy's and I check out their online shop first. The best time to shop for outerwear is January. That's when all the retailers will be having the largest sale of the season. And if you live in a colder area like Chicago or New York, New Jersey, then from January to the spring, you still have a good 4 or 5 months you can still wear the winter coats. And number 4, the silhouette. What is a silhouette? The shape of the outerwear. Coco Chanel once said fashion is like architecture. So what that means is when someone looks at what you're wearing, they first notice the shape of the clothes. So that's especially true when it comes to winter coats for women. Different shape is complementary for different body types. So for instance, if you are a pear shape, then you have a wider bottom and you have a narrower shoulders. The best shape to complement your body type is to find a coat that does the opposite, that adds volume to your top, balance out your wider hips. A-line coat will look very good on you because it flares out at the bottom and it draws attention away from your wider hips. Number 5, it's all about the fit. The fit is important for anyone of any height and any body shape, and it's especially important for petite women because we have shorter frame and we want to make sure we are paying attention to the important details. And what are the important details of the winter coats? Number one is the shoulder width, because this is something you cannot tailor. There's other things about the coats that you can go to a tailor and change. For instance, if the sleeve length is too long, which happens quite often because petite women have shorter arms. So even if we are shopping winter coats at petite brands, chances are the sleeves of the coats are still too long for you. And that happens to me quite often. So that is fine because you can change that easily, but you cannot change how wide the shoulders are. So that's something you should pay special attention to when you're trying for the winter coat. And another thing is, if you're looking for a coat with a belt, then you have to make sure the belt is at the right place. And for short women, if we want our proportion to look better, we want to make sure the belt is higher than our natural waist. That way it will create the illusion of longer legs and shorter torso. So that is the most flattering for short women. Number 6, length is critical. For the winter coats, here's my suggestion. You can either go short or go long. When we're talking about going short, that's very understandable. You probably have heard it many times from different designers, from different stylists, because for petite women, it seems to be natural that we should wear shorter coats. Most of the time, shorter coats always work for shorter women. You cannot go wrong. Now, the second option, I will show you some celebrities' pictures. They are wearing long maxi length coat, but they look fabulous in those long coats. And the reason is continuous column of color for your body. And that is what petite women need. They create length. They are very flattering for petite women. There are several tips you should pay attention to if you want to try this long option. First, you want to make sure the long coats are well tailored. Because they're long, they cover such a big area. You don't want it to be loose, you don't want it to be baggy, because otherwise you will look like you are wearing a sleeping bag. And then number 2, you want to make sure to wear them with heels. Now in the winter time, high heel boots is a perfect choice. Number 7, play with proportion. Proportion is critical in styling, and it's especially important for petite women. We want to create the proportion of 1/3 and 2/3. Yeah, there's 2 ways to do it. First, you can wear a short coat, you can wear a crop length coat, and then you wear long pants with long boots. So that way it will look like your top half is 1/3 and your bottom half is 2/3. That looks very good for your proportion. And the second option is if you wear a very long coat. The coat has a belt that can also create the proportion of 1/3 on the top and 2/3 at the bottom. What you don't want is to look like your proportion is half and half, because that is less flattering than 1/3 and 2/3. Number 8, choose the right fabrics. Fabrics is such an important factor when you are choosing for winter coats, because fabrics decides how it looks. And especially if you are spending a lot of money on the winter coats, you want to make sure it looks expensive. It's well made, it has classes, and speaks for your taste. I would recommend going with a high percentage of wool content or cashmere content. Of course, cashmere is more expensive, but like I said earlier, it will last you longer. Don't want a coat that looks cheap, and most of the time the fabrics are cheap. Even if they are only cost $80, you don't want to waste that $80. Number 9, the best colors for you. You want to make sure that is a color that will go with most of the items you already have in your closet. A lot of people in New York and New Jersey area wear neutral colors in the winter, brown, camel, gray, or black. Then you should try something that's brighter for the outerwear. That way it will balance out what you wear underneath it. and it creates the contrast. Petite women have shorter frame. If you wear dark colors outerwear, then that actually shrink you. If you wear brighter colors, that adds presence. So keep that in mind. It really depends on your hair color, your eye color, and the color of your skin tone. So you will not know it until you try them out. Number 10, what you wear underneath matters. Here I'm talking about what's the best way to layer under your winter coats. This is especially important if you are petite. Sometimes you see a lot of petite women wear layer after layer. If it's not done the right way, it could make your proportion look worse. The underlayer, you want it to be consistent, one column of colors, and you want something that fits you really well and they keep you warm, and on top of that you wear a well-fitted winter coat. And finally, complete the look with the right shoes. Shoes is very important, and you should have that in mind when you're shopping for the outerwear. For a puffer coat, then flats or sneakers. You don't want to wear a cashmere coat with sneakers or with bulky snow boots because they just don't go together. So different outerwear has its own personality, and make sure you pair them with the right shoes to complete the look. I hope you have found this helpful. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time.